All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in for another Fusion 360 stream. Hope you all had a great weekend and your week is going well so far. Today, we are going to continue on our V-twin mechanism that we're creating in Fusion 360. For the past two live streams I've done, I've been working on this V-twin mechanism. If you have tuned into some of my previous streams, most of my projects of late in Fusion 360 have been trying to make assemblies that have moving parts. I made a couple of different things. One that I was particularly excited about was my linkage box with a lever and a little linkage and a couple of hinges, all 3D printed parts. All the hinges were modeled from scratch. I had made a a single cylinder mechanism that I have not yet printed. I'll show you what that looks like. My single cylinder piston mechanism is pretty cool. I have a hand crank, linkage arm, and that hooks up to a small piston, and you should be able to turn the crank and it will articulate the piston through this chamber, which is pretty cool. I have decided to take a step farther and make a V-twin. For those of you that haven't tuned in, I'm a big motorcycle rider, and I have a bike that has a V-twin engine, so it seemed like a fun project to work on. The point at which I stopped last week was I had connected the linkage arms to my crank with this pin here. So this pin will go completely through the crank. Right. This is a hinge. Let me see if I can quickly show you my crank pin. So I've got this lower half here and the upper half, and you can see they kind of fit into each other. And basically, I'll be able to glue that in place. And then the linkages, the way that I've assembled them is I basically put these two rings that sit on top of each other between this pin, which will allow these linkage arms to move freely. So as the crank rotates, the crank should pull the linkage arm around in its circular motion. And then on the piston side, I modeled these pins, and I'm particularly happy with the way that these came out because I was able to taper the head of the pin to fit flush with the edge of the this little piston arm here. And let's check this out. So which one is which? All right, that's the other one. So I'll just show you quickly what these look like, and then we can move on. So there's one side of the pin, there's the other. They fit together, they will glue together, and if all goes to plan, that should hold this linkage arm in place here and allow the arm to swing freely from side to side as the crank moves, articulating the pistons in a V-twin motion, which is very cool. For my reference, I have this image of this is an old patent drawing of a V-twin engine, very small pistons. I'm just using this as a reference. Obviously, I'm not building a totally mechanically accurate V-twin. I'm just using this as a reference image to take a look at how the mechanism works. Now, this one you'll notice is a little bit different. I have one of the pistons is connected to one side of the crank, and the other piston is connected to the other side of the crank, and they're set opposed. This is an engine that has an even firing order. Just for simplicity's sake, I've connected both pistons to the same point on the crank, so the firing order is not going to be totally even. I don't really care about that. I'm just looking to see that I can make this happen. So I think what I would like to work on today, assuming we don't run into any major snags, is I think what I would like to do is start building the housing around these pistons. And to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do that. I think what I'll probably do, the reason why I'm not sure how I'm going to do that is as this crank rotates, these linkage arms are going to swing from side to side. So I need a certain amount of clearance at this point. I do think I can have the piston housing, the cylinder heads, basically come down to the point, because this point isn't going to swing out very much. It's really more this point. So I think I can probably have the housing for the cylinder come down to around here. So I'll probably start by building the tubes that the cylinders are going to sit in. I'm also going to put slits in them. So when we're articulating this, you'll actually be able to see the pistons moving, which will be pretty cool. But yeah, I don't really have much of a plan here. I think what I'll probably do is start by making the tubes that these will fit around. And I think I'm going to make the housing just one component because that's going to be a fixed component. Once we get the housing right, you know, I'll probably build the tubes. Then I'll build the like circular housing that the crank is going to go in, and then we'll figure out how we're going to connect that all. I really have no idea. Then what we'll do is we'll have a pin come out of the bottom of the crank through the housing and have a hand crank on the outside. So you can crank this crank, and that will then articulate the motion of the piston. So I think that's what we're going to go with, and I think let's jump right into this. So before we do anything else, I actually want to quickly jump over to my V-twin really quickly to see what some of these housings look like. Yeah, you can see the opening where the piston sits. There's more than enough room to have this crank swing back and forth. So maybe I don't have to worry about that. Maybe there's not going to be so much articulation that it's going to be an issue. Because if you think about it, the tube is going to be bigger than the diameter of this piston itself. So I don't know. Let's experiment with this. I'm just going to save this. Well, it's already saved. I didn't make any changes. And let's make a new component and start to play with this. And we can always back out of it. So let's start by making a new component. It'll be an empty component. It will be part of the assembly. And we're going to call this engine case, right? And now I have a new component. So very cool. So I think what we'll do to start with is let's... this here is not the top of the piston's motion, right? Because if I move this around the circle, the top of the piston's motion will be when this joint is... Oh, maybe not. Maybe that is the top. No, as we rotate this way, I think it's going to push it up slightly. So I think what I'll probably do to just give myself room is I'm going to offset a plane on this about 5 millimeters. I think we're going to offset it out 5 millimeters. And I think that should be okay. Maybe I should offset that 10 millimeters just to be safe. Yeah, let's start with that. Okay. And we'll sketch on this face. And let's see. Okay, so there's my center point. Great. So I can make a center point circle. And we know that this is 100. So let's give this a tolerance of 1 millimeter on each side. So we'll do 102. And then we have to figure out, well, let me start, well, let me think about this here for a minute. Do I want square cylinder heads? That's a good question. You see how these are kind of, I don't know if we can get a top view, but they're kind of squared off. They're not round. It's kind of a rectangular piece. I mean, I think that's mostly to accommodate the valves and the exhaust and all of that. But I think we'll do square cylinder heads. I think that would be cool. So let's create a center point rectangle. And basically, if I did this 140 by 140, how does that look? Oh, 140, 140. That looks pretty cool. Let's start with this and see how we end up. I might want to make it bigger. I think I'm going to make it bigger. Let's make it 150 by 150. All right, so there's my cylinder head. And if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to bring this down to like... Uh, 130... Oops. Negative 135. Oops, I'm sloppy with my keyboard today. You ever have those days where your hand is like one key off on the keyboard and you just are constantly hitting the wrong keys, making typos? That's my day today. All right, so... You know, I'm just looking at this and it looks kind of ridiculous. I mean, if I really wanted to get fancy, I could put the cooling fins in, right? And you can see it kind of steps down. So maybe we can do that. Maybe I can do like a rectangular head. We'll make this a little bit wider. Or I can make... let's just do that now and turn the sketch on. Let's edit this sketch. If I make this 140... I think I like 130. All right, so that should have fixed my cylinder head. Okay, so there's my cylinder head. I can probably do a little bit of a nicer job with this. Oh, I have to enclose this too. Oh, that's nice. Well, let me just make the rectangles now. We went 130 by 150, and then I'll figure out, because maybe we'll have them kind of like taper in. Right? Well, let's make them both. We'll see what happens. So we'll do a sketch. That's weird. I don't know why that's there. Maybe I duplicated one of the pins. That's fine. It's not a big deal. All right, so we'll do the same thing again. We will offset a plane. I brought it out 10, right? And then I had made a sketch on this face, and I believe I had made 122, or 102, right? And then we did a center point rectangle, and I made it 150 by 130, right? And then I pulled this down, negative 135. Okay, cool. So that's the making of my mechanism here. I don't know what this is. Let's just see here. That's very perplexing. All right. Well, that's really confusing. Hold on a second. Let me save this and go back up to the top here. So why did my piston pin move? Do you see that? Look at that. Oh, you know what happened? I had duplicated this piston pin and moved it over here. I'm going to have to redraw those. I'm not going to do that right now, though, but I'm going to have to redraw those. So let's just shut this off. Okay, let's go back to the engine case. All right, so now I need to... I think what I'll do maybe is make a kind of arc top on this. So I think what we'll do is sketch on this side. And, of course, my view is going to get all messed up. What's going on here? I don't even remember which face I was sketching on. Let's start with this one. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, so basically what I'm going to do is just kind of make a little arc and just pull that across. And that should be fine. Let's go to the bottom here and rotate this slightly. Okay. All right, so now we should be able to make a 3-point arc. Oh, that's interesting. It's interesting it's not catching the edge of this drawing. Very strange. Right, because I am sketching on this face. This is a fusion act, so weird sometimes. Let's zoom out a little bit and see where I'm at. Huh. Okay. Arc, 3-point arc. See, it's going onto the grid and not the points of this object, right? That's quite odd. All right, let's figure out what's going on here. Let's go back to this normal view here and see what the heck is going on. Oh, there's another way I can do this. What if I did... Can I not get the center point of the shape here? So strange. I wonder if it's the... what if I did this? Let's finish this sketch. What if I... No, see, that's still going to be a... It has to do with the origin point and the angle of the piston head, I think. That's really perplexing. That's okay, though. I'll figure out how to do this. Let's figure out how to do this. We could probably make cooling fins. That would be kind of neat. I wonder if I should round these sides off, too. I wonder if I can do that pretty easily. Let's see. Right, if I was to make like a little 3-point arc on each side. Right, and then come across here. Right, and then our center point. Right, just kind of round these off a little bit. Oh, hold on a sec. Better way to do this. We could do it with fillet, but... I'm a little perplexed why I can't... If I sketch on this face... Alright, and I want to make a 3-point arc. 3-point arc, 3-point arc. Alright, so why was this giving me such an issue before? There we go. I don't know why that was giving me such an issue before. Right? How perplexing. Alright, there we go. There's our cylinder head. Alright. Let's try that again. That was giving me such an issue before, and I have no idea why. See, like, it's not catching the edges of this, right? It's like I'm sketching... Let's try sketching on the other face. Let's try the top. See if we can get this right. That's the weirdest thing. See, and it works fine on this side. Tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how that makes sense. Doesn't. Alright. Cylinder heads looking... I think maybe the arc on this one's a little higher. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Let me undo that really quick. Just to make sure I did this the same way. This edge. This edge. Center point. I think I only came to here. I think that was what I did. I made the arc bigger on the other, smaller on the other one. So negative 130. All right. Are we looking? Yeah, that's better. Okay, great. So now we have the tops of the cylinder heads. So now the question is, what do we want to happen down here? You know, I feel like I may also want to taper this. So if I modify this and I offset the face... No, that's not it. There's another way I could do this. I feel like I want to maybe taper this down a little bit. Right? I feel like maybe what we should do is bring this down like negative 80. Right? Let's try this. I have an idea. Negative 80. All right. And then maybe what I can do... Yeah. See, I think what we need to do is taper this down slightly. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Let's offset a face here, and we'll bring it down. Oop, wrong direction. 50. No, 70. I'm just taking a guess here. All right. All right, and then I'm just going to experiment with this. I don't know if this is going to work properly or not. All right, and so we'll start with our 102 millimeter circle, right? And then we'll get our center point rectangle, right? And grab the same center point. And then we're going to make this smaller. We're going to make it 110 by 110. Let's try that. Okay. All right, and so now I have this smaller bit here. So I should be able to grab this face and use the loft tool. Loft can try swapping the inputs. I wonder if I need to draw another sketch on this. Cancel. All right, maybe I need to draw another sketch on this of the shape. So let's do that. So again, we'll have a 102 millimeter center point circle, and then we'll do a center point rectangle, and that was 150 by 130, right? And now I have a new face here, and that's a sketch. So I can now grab these two sketches. Let's grab this. We'll grab this. That'll be profile 1. This will be profile 2. And if I loft this... Oh, I have to finish the sketch first. Okay. So now I have this sketch and this sketch. And now if I loft this... There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, cool. And now... the only difference is I need the hole. So, what I can do... Undo that. Why did it... That's so interesting. Well, I know what we can do. This is not going to be that complicated. Let's do this again. Can I just redo that? Okay, so now, if I turn this sketch on, and I grab... Let's see. And I... So if I grab... Where's the circle? If I grab that circle, I put the bodies back on. Right? What I should be able to do is extrude this and cut this out. The only thing I'm going to need to do before I do that is shut everything else off, or else that too will be cut. So now if I do that, I should now have... Cool. All right, that's awesome. All right, very nice. So now I've got this engine case. Cool. And this is messed up. I need to get rid of that. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, and then essentially what we'll do is pull this down to a certain point, and we'll do the same thing over here. Like I should be able to now extrude this face, right? If I want to, down. Wherever it needs to meet. So I'm going to undo that, and now we'll do the same thing here. Now, the thing I don't remember is how far I pulled this down. I think I had offset of plane, and I think I did 70. I think it was 70. All right, and so let's do this. We'll just copy the same thing. So we'll start with the 102 millimeter circle, and then we'll grab our center point rectangle, and that was 110 by 110. All right, there we go. That's that. And then I have to now finish the sketch, and now I'm going to sketch on this face, and I basically need to make a new sketch that's exactly the same as the top. So 102, and then center point rectangle, and it's going to be 150 by 130. All right, finish that sketch. And now I should be able to, if I turn my sketches on, grab this, and grab this, and grab my create and loft. And there we go. Okay, perfect. Now, of course, that's sealed. So once again, I can shut all this off. And then we're going to just shut the bodies off for a minute. And we'll turn this sketch on, grab this circle, put the body back on, press pull, bring that out. Boom, we're done. Okay, very good. So now we can turn all these back on. Awesome. Okay, so now we should be looking pretty good. So now what I think I'm going to do is basically bring these down. Let's bring these down. Let me just look at my reference image for a minute here. See, what's interesting is this all open space in here. So maybe I oughta... I'll bring them down a little bit, but maybe I'll just leave all of this area opened. Right? I don't know. Let's bring this down 10. 50? I'll do the same here. Nope. Press pull. That was something I learned recently, that press pull. This is really starting to look pretty cool. I'm really psyched about this. Press pull. I learned something recently about press pull. Press pull doesn't just extrude. Press pull can offset a face or fillet edges, depending on the geometry. So I'm just going to undo this really quickly. Watch what happens if I press pull this. See how it's changing the geometry? It's basically following this path, which is the offset face command. Whereas if I extrude this, it just moves the face downward. So you have to be careful about which command you're using. Okay, so I think what I want to do is sketch on one of these faces, and I think just check out my reference images really quickly. So like you look at like a V-twin like this, the crank is totally enclosed in this chamber, and the piston heads come all the way down, and they taper all the way. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'd like to bring these down just a bit more. Let's bring them down another 10. Oh, I don't want to press pull. Hold on. I want to extrude this. All right, let's see. I think we should get the full range of motion here and not have a problem. Yeah, let's go with this. Also, I want to shut this off because it's distracting me. So, I mean, this obviously isn't proportionally correct to a V-twin, but it's looking pretty cool. So, let's make the whole engine case here. So I think I'm going to sketch here, right? And what I want to do is basically, I think I want to start with a 3-point arc. From this corner. See, it's not catching that. That's interesting. That's fine. And let's bring that up to here. Okay, so now we have this 3-point arc. Okay. And then what I think we'll do... See, that looks like too much of an arc. Let's redo that. Better. Okay. Yeah, that's better. Oh, I didn't want to finish that sketch. That was not what I wanted to do. Okay. All right, so we're in the sketch. Good. Okay, so now I think what we'll do is let's make a circle. I don't know what the center point on this is. This is challenging. I don't know if you get that sense from what I'm doing here, but it's quite challenging. All right, you know what we'll do then? Let's sketch something on this face. All right, so if we sketch something... I'll dig that. That's cool. All right, so... Oh, you know what? I'm going to undo that for a sec. I think what I should have done is offset a plane off of this. My hand is one key off all day. Offset a plane. Okay. Good enough. Check this out. By using that geometry as my offset plane, I should be able to make my 200mm circle dead centered on where I need it to be. Right? Okay, so now what I should be able to do is... Huh. All right. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I should try and, like, freeform draw this or what. See, like, there's the center point of that plane. Maybe I can do a 2-point circle. Right? Oh, well, the truth of the matter is... Alright. Trying to make, you know, like a approximately centered. That's good enough. All right. So now what I should be able to do is maybe we can make a nice arc coming down from each of these sides. So let's try that. So 3-point arc. See if we can grab this edge here. Now let's come to like here. Okay. We'll do the same thing here. All right. That's pretty good. Okay. Oh, no, I have to edit that sketch again. I am really not sure what I'm doing here. I think I need to probably connect these all, right? With some lines? Let's see if I connect. I can't grab this point here. You gotta be kidding me. Come on. What's this sketch? Well, that's nice. All right, I'm going to have to trace that then on this sketch. All right. Okay, let's try this again. 3-point arc. I'm going to just do this kind of by eye. I don't really care about making this perfect, honestly. I really don't care. There we go. Okay. Now I need the line tool. So which is my previous... Right, that one can go. All right. I think I probably need to connect these all, right? And close this. Right, so now we have this. Right, we have this piece here. So, if I take this and press pull this, right, it's not going to work because I need there to be negative space. What if I take these and I... what am I trying to do here? Let's edit the sketch. Edit sketch. Okay, so if I select these, right, and I... offset it. Huh. That's cool. So this will allow me to offset the sketch, right? And now I have this other sketch, but the problem is I need to offset these. Well, let me try this one. If I offset this by, so if I take this and I offset this by, you know, like 10 millimeters. Okay. And then if I take this and offset this, I have to edit the sketch again. This problem solving is my favorite part of working in Fusion 360, but it's also incredibly frustrating. Right, and so now, all right, if I finish the sketch, what if I now can grab this and this? Oh, that worked. Oh my God, I can't believe that worked. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe that worked. I can't believe that that worked. Look at that. That's my engine case. Obviously, it's not pretty. Actually, to truth be told, I could have tapered this the other direction instead of having it come out. Yeah, you know what? I really want to fix that. I don't really like that at all. All right, let's undo these offsets. I'm going to take a step back. I'm sorry, I got to do it. Okay, cool. I want to taper it in. I have to, I'm sorry. It's just, it's necessary. All right, where am I sketching? All right, so I'm sketching on this side. Right, so this sketch here, let's edit it. All right, I gotta do this. It's just gonna look nicer. So, 3-point arc. I'm just gonna grab this wherever and come to here. That's fine. Huh. I don't remember where I did this from. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so now the last thing I need to do is edit the sketch, connect it all together. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. Okay. So now, line tool. Oh, I don't have to redo that arc. I have to redo the arc in the middle. Because that other one got messed up. I'm just going to do them wherever. Just wherever, because... Alright, there we go. Alright, then we'll grab our line tool and connect this all up. Then I can do the offset. This is not going to be pretty, but it'll do the trick. Alright. So now, what I can do is I can select this, and I can offset this. And I think I might want to make... 10 was fine. 10. Right? And then we could take this. Right? That's what I need to do. And offset this. 10. No, that's an offset curve. There we go. All right, and so now I should be able to grab these, press pull, and we'll fix that in a minute. And the only thing we're going to do is join. There we go. It's much better. Okay, cool. So that's pretty cool. All right, so obviously, you know, you look at this V-twin and this V-twin. It's not even close to the same thing. But honestly, I don't care. I'm very, very pleased with how this is coming along. So I think what I'm going to do is... I feel like I want to enclose one side of this. And I think I want it to be this side. Okay. And so that means I should be able to... see, that's annoying. See? You know what? It's fine. So I want to enclose this side. So I should be able to sketch on this face, right? Is there a way to, like, close the face? I bet you there's a way to close the face. Let's see. Close the face. Nope. I bet you there's a way to close this. I bet you there's a way to do it. Alright, let's see. What time is that? Alright, we're almost out of time. I would really like to try and at least finish this side. Let's see. Offset face. I hope I don't have to trace this. That would be, like, ridiculously annoying. You know? Alright, what can I do with this? Modify. Replaces one or more of new face must be set with a part. Offset face. I just want to know if there's a way to just, like, call this done, or do I have to retrace this? Pattern. Sketch. Do I have to trace this? Ugh. Because I want to enclose this. I want to enclose this, right? Well, let's just save this and take a step back for a second. What I want to do is... I want to, ideally, have this sitting... Oh, come on a stand, right? And this side I want opened. Oh, let me just shut the sketches off. All right, this side I want open so you can see everything. This side I want enclosed and the hand crank will be here. Right? So that's the idea. So this side's enclosed. And then maybe a little stand that this sits on. What if I did this? I might have a way to do this. Hold on a minute. What if I took this, this, and this? Right? I know what I'm going to do. Watch this. Extrude. I'll bring this down to... Negative 110, I guess. Let's see. Okay, let's see. I want to join this. Okay, right? Alright, so now what I should be able to do is grab this same geometry, press pull, and this is going to come down... Oh, negative 100. Okay. And so now... The only thing is now I need to take this sketch, right? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I need to take... Sketch. All right, and basically, hold on a second. All right, so now I can press pull this. I just need to bring this down through. Oh, see, I have a problem here. Hold on. What did I just do? Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, so what I need to do here is I need to select these. Press pull them. Down. Join. Okay. Then I need to take these. Press pull. Okay, now we're in business. Now, bodies go. I can grab this. And I can press pull that. Once again, I have a little bit of an issue with this. Let's take a step back. Oh, this is frustrating. Okay. Press pull. Alright, so that didn't do me any good. Let's undo that. Huh. Alright, so let's do it this way then. Okay, these get shut off. I select this. Okay, all bodies. And just pull. Better. Alright, now I'm going to have to do the same thing on this side. Okay, perfect. Okay, body. Push, pull. Bring that all the way through. Sketches can go. Okay. So, there's my open. Now, the one thing I want to do is put some slits in the cylinder heads. But now, that's so weird. There's some wacky geometry there. Look at that. So be it. All right, so now what I want to do is make the hand crank. And I think that's going to be it for today. This is coming along, excuse me, really nicely, though. So what I need to do now is I need to select the crank. And nope, not the crank pin, the crank. And I want to shut this off right now. And now what we're going to do is sketch on this face. All right, so we're going to make this 20. All right, and that's cool. I'm just thinking about something for a minute. I'm sorry. All right, so now if I grab this sketch, and okay, so now, okay, engine case. All right, so now what I need to do, I made that 20. So now what I'm going to do is sketch on this face. And I'll make a circle. That's 22. I'll make it 21. 22. Right? And then I'm going to shut off everything. So I should have a hole now. And now, okay. So now I should have a hole. What the heck? Oh, hold on a minute. So what's the problem here? Oh, you know what? It's this one. That's what I need to do. And this one. There we go. That's it. Okay. So now, where's my crank? Okay, so what happened? Oh, jeez. Oh, frustrating day today. I can't get this right. Can't get this right. Okay. So everything's hidden. This is now pressing through. So if I put the crank back on... Okay, that's what I wanted to happen. Okay. So the question now is... Do I want to make a larger wheel out here to get some more leverage for turning this? I think I do. So let's do that very quickly. I'll tell you what. I think I'm going to call it for today because I want to think through this a little bit. I think if I am going to make a larger wheel to turn this crank, let me just shut all the sketches off here. It's driving me crazy. There we go. I think if I'm going to make a wheel to turn this externally, this is looking really cool. I think I'm going to need to make it a separate component that fits, just like my pin mechanism where it fits in. I'm going to work on that next time because I don't want to rush it and then mess this up. I've done that too many times. So I think I'm going to call it. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I found this to be incredibly frustrating today because I really didn't know what I was doing. But we fought our way through it, and it's really coming along pretty nicely. I think this is going to work. One question that's going to be interesting is, how the heck am I going to assemble this? Maybe I should have made the top of the pistons detach. This is what happens if you don't think through the design. Well, at any rate, I have a version of this saved without all this stuff done. So we're fine. Let's go with this. I think we can salvage this project. I'm just going to save it. We're going to call it a day. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying these projects. If you like it, hit that thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. We have a lot of great content on our YouTube channel. In addition to that, please check out the DAE.com. Check out our list of online workshops and private lessons. We're doing online summer camp this summer. So definitely check out the DAE.com. Let us know when you have any questions. And I really appreciate you tuning in. Thanks and have a great day.